Hi, I'm Hetty Mahlich. I'm the editor here at SHOWstudio, and I'm going to be talking to you about my best in show from the Autumn 2024 season. It was a no-brainer for me to pick Martine Rose. Martine is my favourite designer. This was one of my favourite collections of hers, and I think this collection, but also this look, is really indicative of the magic of Martine Rose. Her clothes are really a love letter to culture and to people. I really enjoy looking at fashion, or at least the fashion I enjoy looking at is, when you look at it, is this kind of combination of different kind of sartorial sign makers. You know, garments are so indicative of so many different reference points. They can tell such an amazing story. And Martine's clothes and collections are always these kind of collective of characters wearing so many different pieces which reference so many different things, but they never feel, these are never kind of caricatures or pastiches. So I mean, let's kick off with the camo trousers, probably the best part of this look. Camo print is something that Martine returns to kind of again and again. It's something I have in my own kind of Martine mini collection. She did these camo pants for Autumn Winter 14. Which were covered in rave flyer patches, again referencing her ties and love of kind of music, and you know, it comes back to that idea that Martine's clothes are always a reference to people and experiences. But yeah, I kind of was on Grailed for like 2 years looking for those trousers, and they don't actually fit me anymore, but I'll be keeping them forever. But yeah, camo print for Martine, it's like, you think camo trousers, maybe it was her cousins who were older than her going to raves on Clapham Common. Maybe it's the camo pants, you know, in your military surplus store. Maybe it's the camo pants that you're wearing kind of down the pub or out partying. They have so many different kind of cultural references now, and I think it's such an interesting kind of print to go back to. These are particularly great because they're actually denim, and they're reversible denim. So this is kind of the inside out look at them, if you will. So it's quite nice. I'll show you what they look like with the normal indigo blue, but here you've kind of got the back of the button. They haven't put another button on, which I quite like. The pockets are done pretty immaculately for a double-sided kind of reversible trouser. Yeah, I just think these are so fab, and they've got the little kind of rose logo here. As I mentioned, they're reversible, so the other side is kind of your more traditional blue wash denim jean. I love Martine's denim because she does the kind of leather authenticity patches on the waistband, kind of inspired by those original patches that Levi's did, but she's got her own kind of logo on it. It's this kind of mythological scene of people dancing. Again, coming back to that idea of, I think, fun and pleasure, which is so inherent to Martine's work, and I always feel seeing it and wearing it. Camo pants, you can dress them up, you can dress them down. In this collection we had it with what is kind of another take on a shirt. The Martine Rose brand actually started as a shirting label, kind of subverting kind of menswear shirts, and this is kind of a continuation of that. It's kind of a military shirt. You've got these epaulettes here, kind of the pockets are pretty kind of military-esque, but this kind of pinstripe effect also kind of makes you think of something that your dad or your brother or someone might have in their wardrobe, or you might find in kind of hand-me-downs in a charity shop. But then it's kind of elevated with this metallic lurex thread. You can probably already tell that this isn't your classic shirt. Yeah, if we just do a little spin, because if we come around to the front, I mean, I've tried to emulate the incredible styling that Tamara Rothstein did for the show in Paris. But if we just undo it, you can see that this is kind of more your traditional kind of military-inspired shirt on this side, but then you've got this elongated side to the shirt with so much fabric that you can kind of play with, style. You know, that's the magic of Martine's clothes. Once you have them and you bring them into your wardrobe, they're yours, and they're yours to kind of pair with different things. I never feel like Martine designs in a full look policy kind of way. You don't feel like, to be part of the Martine world, you've got to wear the whole look. And again, you can kind of emulate it and just be within the kind of vibe of the Martine world, which I really love. This shirt is actually styled as it was in the show, over a leather jacket. I've mentioned the idea of kind of fun, but there's also a real idea of sexiness that Martine does. And I think that sexiness may not be in the kind of obvious way, but it's sexiness in terms of how these clothes make you feel. I mean, leather does have more literal sexual connotations. You know, it makes me think a bit of Soho. It makes me think of almost some of those kind of Tom of Finland illustrations. The jacket has a beautiful kind of zip up and V-neck, so we've got some skin revealing there as well. It's about how these clothes make you feel and the confidence that they give you and the pleasure of wearing them. You could really feel that at the show in Paris, where Martine showed this collection. This was actually Martine's first time showing in Paris. She usually shows in London, but she showed at the Café Cuba. It was very much this feeling we were all crowded into this kind of old disused bar area with a makeshift runway, and it felt kind of like 80s ballroom meets old school fashion show. And the models just were, you could tell how confident and easy they felt in these clothes and how much fun they had. You know, we were literally kind of skin to skin all together and with the models, and they'd stop and they'd pose and they were dancing to this 80s music, kind of like Shalimar and all of that. And it was so much fun. So it was definitely my favourite show of the season as well in terms of the experience and the fun of it. And I think it was, you just really see how these clothes, the transformative effect that they have on the wearer when you put them on and how they make you feel. I can't not talk about the shoes. So these actually weren't in the show. These are Martine's Clark's collection, the first collaboration that she's done with them as their guest creative director, which kind of debuted about a month before the show. These are so fun, but also very good at kind of showing you what Martine does so well. So these are kind of a take on the Clark's woman's loafer, one of the many kind of styles from the archives that she's redone. But as you can see, she's kind of blown it up to these cushion effects, which is actually inspired by the sculptor Erwin Worm's kind of fat cars. But they're just so fun, and I can say that these are the comfiest heels I've ever worn. I love the curved heel as well, the kind of squidginess. They're kind of so wrong but so right. Martine isn't afraid to do that. And yeah, I just think this look, the way that, you know, you can see that it makes models feel when they wear it, and that hopefully we'll all feel when we get to wear it ourselves. It's just the magic of Martine, and that is why she is my best in show.